Hey, sorry we are late. Zeb had it private.
No one can watch.
It's funny because Zeb's always like, we gotta be on time. Hurry up. And then he's late. I like that. They can't see those.
It's all right. I'm just moving them out of my way.
Oh, okay. So about an hour ago, Zeb is like, you're in charge of this morning's live. I'm taking Jack to preschool. So I was going through the garage because in an effort to finish what we have, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to be giving you some life lessons on how to make money junking and picking by completing projects you own before you buy more. But I found these shutters. We showed you guys them probably a few months ago. They've been hanging out. I spray painted them black. I took a picture of them, but you can imagine them just spray painted black. And then without really waiting for it to dry much, maybe like 10 minutes, still pretty wet, I slapped on a coat of a bunch of milk paint, and I really love the color. It's very similar to the color of my clock that I get asked about a lot, but the problem is it's just a bunch of leftover paint, which is also part of today's live video. I love when I have just a little dash of this and a little dash of that, using it up. So this morning,
They can't see those.
Zeb, you show them these. I mixed, Zeb's gonna show you.
So we have cobalt.
We mixed cobalt, and I don't know the ratio because it's just whatever was left.
Patina.
And, nope, no.
Oh, flour sack wasn't in there.
Yeah, and in a pickle, and that's how we got this shade of blue. So I highly suggest if you have leftover paint to play around, whether it's DIY or sweet pickings, mix up some fun colors. And I love to do it on accessories because I'm usually not worried about not having enough paint. And you can see I did a pretty messy job of painting them.
Well, it was probably just sliding off because the spray paint wasn't dry yet.
Yeah, and you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the crackle in there. That's really fun. So that, and then Zeb just kind of blow dried them. And I don't mind if it's drippy and chippy because old shutters, oh, there goes the bag. Luckily it's empty. Usually are like that. So let me pull up comments. Zeb's gonna get started painting the fronts.
Okay, so we're gonna go with a white.
Actually, I don't even know why I painted the back because it'll go up against a wall. So.
Yeah, so let me show you kind of what we do with shutters. If you guys haven't seen before, I'll just give you a little pan up. Up above our kitchen sink, we've got those long, tall shutters. There's a window in between that's an old window, and then just like a wreath with a framed sign in front of it. And we switch that out seasonally. The green shutters stay. We've had those up about 7-8 months now, maybe not quite that long, but so far they've gone with all the decor and all the seasons, so it's worked out well. All right, so I'm gonna start painting these with flour sack. We mixed this up beforehand with an immersion blender so that it would be ready to go and not loud, and it is a little on the thick side.
I like that one. I'm gonna get chunky and chippy. And the reason why I decided to go with milk paint is because milk paint, even though you can get DIY to crackle, the chippy pretty much only happens with the milk paint, the way that this chips off. And it's got kind of a beaded effect on it too because the spray paint was not dry when I put the milk paint on. So the milk paint kind of beaded up, which I love, especially for like an aged patina. One of the things you have to be when you're doing a project like this is fearless. Like, don't be so concerned with perfection. If you are, it's gonna make you absolutely crazy. And also, I didn't use any extra bond. I know we'll get asked that. I'm not worried about it chipping off. I know some of it will stick really good because the spray paint was wet. So it kind of mixed with that and like adhered. I actually didn't even wash the brush, so it had some DIY paint on it when I painted the blue. And the blue isn't completely dry. So we got a whole bunch of situations happening here, but I find that when you do that, you get some of your best effects. Shutters are a pain in the bum. If you want them painted perfectly, I suggest using a sprayer because it is very difficult with a brush, no matter what brush you use, to get a nice, neat, even paint job on them, so I don't even try. Did I shellac before the flour sack? Nope, I just used spray paint, which works similar to like a lacquer, as far as like getting it to chip and stuff. Where did I get my shutters? Thrift store. I don't remember. I think they were like $1 or so a piece.
Yeah, they were maybe $1.50, but I think $1.
Yeah, and we have a full DIY on a similar effect that we just did with white paint. We did layer the colors on and we made it into a shelf. So maybe we'll do that with these. I don't know. Probably we'll just sell them at the store. People love to decorate with chippy shutters. I like to sell them in pairs. I have a couple more left that maybe we'll do something with.
So the paint, the blue color of the milk paint is chipping off, and I'm not really worrying about it. That's just going to add to the texture and the chipping.
Put it back on.
Yeah, so in places where it's chipping off, I'm just painting right over it. Think of like shutters from the early 1900s that have been sitting outside and painted 8 or 9 times, and they didn't get sanded, they just got painted over. That's the look we're going for.
Lots of questions this morning. Let me follow through. We did not find these for free. If you're just tuning in, we picked these up at the thrift store for like $1 or $2 a piece. Let's see, what other questions do we have? What's the difference between DIY and Fairy Chalk Mother? DIY is clay-based, all-natural, thick paint. And Fairy Chalk Mother is your more traditional mineral-based paint. And we've got a video on that. If you look up Jami Ray Vintage and put like chalk paint versus milk paint versus DIY paint, the live video should come up. And we went over all of that information in there. We'll drop that link for that video as well as the link for the shutter video that we did so you guys can see that.
So real quick on this brush, this Paint Pixie is the biggest oval size that we sell. It's the number 12 or the 1 3/4 inch. And it's still able to do a lot of this detail work because of the oval shape, and the bristles are fairly stiff. So I'm able to jam it down into the shutter and get in there without having to like crank it all a bunch of different ways and move this around and that, and it's working really well.
The French round would probably be your better option.
Yeah, if you have a French round, that will also work.
Hold on. That's a flat top.
Oh, we probably got 2 in there.
Here you go. There you go.
All right.
If you're new to our channel and you want to know where to pick up these products, they're at jamirayvintage.com. So Christina said that when she was stupid, she stripped old shutters down to the wood. That's not stupid. Maybe you wanted them to look differently. We like the chunky
light woods are in.
Do I use Big Top over Dark and Decrepit? Yeah, I use that. Or Sweet Pickins Top Coat. Anything natural, water-based is good. Will I seal these to prevent more chipping? So here's the deal. You can't prevent more chipping. Like if the milk paint is going to chip, it's going to chip until it's done chipping. However, if it's super, super chippy, I would not suggest sealing it with a liquid top coat like Sweet Pickins Top Coat or Big Top, because liquid can make milk paint chip even more, especially if it already has. So these will just get a coat of clear wax. They're just decor. And honestly, I think that anybody that buys these is probably going to love chippy and probably wouldn't be sad if they continued to chip and age over time. And the reality is, after probably 30 days or so, the milk paint dries pretty hard, and it'll be okay no matter what they do with it.
So we had an old table that we built out of salvage wood for a friend of ours, and we milk painted the legs, and then I used a liquid top coat. I sprayed it on, and it continued to chip. It reactivated some of the paint and got even more chipping. And she took it home, and it was sealed, but she called us like 2 or 3 days later. She's like, hey, I'm still getting like flakes of paint on the floor every now and then that are chipping off this table. Is there anything I should worry about? I'm like, nah, if it continues to be a big problem, we'll come out and reseal it once it's all done. Give it a week or so and we'll see. But she ended up loving it because it was a real, almost natural kind of chippy look. Like it was authentically old instead of just old wood that I had used to rebuild something, and it's like her favorite thing. She still has the table and it's holding up great and loves it.
Lisa said she finally used DIY paint for the first time. She wasn't sure she'd love it, but now that she's done, she does. DIY paint and Sweet Pickins milk paint, they're not like other traditional paints that are out on the market. So if you're used to that, you just have to know that it's going to be different. But what makes it different is what makes it wonderful. So Kathy says you guys are amazing. I go in daily to see what you're up to. I couldn't wait to see what we were doing with this. Well, we are on Fridays. We're trying to get better at it. Throughout the week, we're doing vlogging to kind of show you our process of things that we don't necessarily video. Sometimes projects we work on that we're not videoing.
The garage is still number 1.
Behind the scenes projects. So that will come out this Friday, what we've been doing all week. So Last week, people kind of liked it. We'll try to take you guys with us thrifting again. That'll be fun.
So if you missed it, last night we did a live video all about Instagram and talked about a few other things at the end there.
For our members. That's a members only video.
For the YouTube members.
So if you're a member, be sure to check out community for that link.
And also the 4th chapter, April's chapter, went up. I got it up late last night, so I don't think a lot of people got the notification. So if you didn't get the notification, go check in community on our homepage on YouTube and check that out because that chapter is up as well.
So somebody asked if these were old shutters. We did not buy them brand new, but they're not necessarily old. They were just like purchased by somebody and never used. They were unfinished, so they didn't have any sealer on them when I got started. And you really should probably wait like after you spray paint it and.
No way, we're going for the really heavy chipping.
But I am not a perfectionist, so whatever the paint decides to do, I'm gonna let it do its thing. And the member videos, for those of you guys that are members, we alternate. 1 month we do it at night, and the next month we do it in the morning. That way it gives everybody an opportunity to watch them. So, and we were gonna talk about buying stuff. You wanna get them started? You wanna talk to them?
So yesterday, Jamie's getting ready to go hop in the truck. She's like, hey, you want to come pick up this dresser with me? And you know, if you've been following along over the last couple weeks, we've been doing garage clean out, and we got busy towards the end of last week, and the beginning of this week has been busy, and I haven't really had a chance to address the things that needed fixed. And she's like, well, I'm just going to go get this stuff get this new dresser, and I don't complain about it often, but I'm like, we have stuff in the garage that needs finished. Why don't we work on that?
It was such a pretty dresser too.
There's always pretty dressers.
I told you I was gonna paint the backs of these, but here I am. Oh well.
So anyway, Jamie decided to not go get that. We've got a hutch that needs repaired. We've got a dresser in the garage already that needs...
I got cool wife points because I did what you asked. Doesn't happen very often. How do you... This is not opening.
I think there's like 8 chairs in the garage that need...
You know, nobody's counting how many chairs I have. But our point
those are ready. Those are ready for paint.
Yeah, but you cleaned out the black spray gun. So you're going to have to fix that so I can spray them.
I just need to go to Harbor Freight and get another one.
People say, I just keep buying and I can't stop. The reality is, if you continue to purchase more than what fits in your space, more than you can get to, you are not going to be making a profit. You're constantly going to be buying and not finishing things. And one of the things that I've always made a rule is if I buy it, I finish it. Very seldom do I buy stuff and not finish the project. And my reason behind that is if you force yourself to finish your projects, you will be more selective on the things that you buy. Because I know a lot of people that I've seen in this industry, they buy and buy and buy and buy, and then they have like flash sales, getting rid of stuff they've never worked on because they just bought too much.
Well, and you usually get rid of it cheap too.
We have gotten rid of 2 trailers full of wood, which majority was free, but it still took time. So Zeb has learned his lesson.
Well, a lot of it's just like salvage scraps and things that we've been through, and it won't work.
His dad brought us a ton of wood from Texas.
Yeah.
A ton, and it was never milled all the way to make it usable, and it was outside, and it was way more than, especially now that we don't do custom work, that we're going to use. So what have we learned?
Well, another problem is that it was sitting outside and it got bugs and stuff. So
well, some of it wasn't properly what's that called? Heat treated.
Yeah. So
it's gone. And what have we learned about wood?
You can never have too much.
That is not what we learned. We learned because it cost us time to get rid of it cost time for his dad to bring it to us and money. It cost time and effort for us to dispose of it and go through it. So it's really, this is like a good, we're teaching you the hard things, which is don't buy crap you don't need. So the cool thing about what's happening here, because we're not really waiting for layers to dry, is we're getting like texture in here, and that is way fun.
Well, here, let me see. I'm going to see if I can show you
Kendall
close.
says LOL, Zeb.
So you see this big old flake here? I'm gonna paint right over that
And
with the
shove
white
it back on there.
and just put it back on. And these are chipping really heavily too. And we're just gonna go right over that, and it's getting like this crazy kind of texture down here.
How come these shutters are not? Oh,
Because they're
they're
getting some paint on them, and
they're
they're not gonna want to
crunchy.
open soon.
Well, then we just need to make sure that they're going the right direction, because these ones are going. Zeb.
Well, you already painted them like that.
Shoot a monkey.
Well, just flip it.
I can't get it to go down though. It's the paint mess. You pull it. Oh, there you go. Now do that to that one.
That's going the right direction.
So these are turning out pretty darn good. Oh, just a reminder, we're going to be teaching a similar look at my class on the 26th with Mara from Vintage Retail Therapy. We'll drop links when we're no longer live. If you've been interested in taking that class, just look up Vintage Retail Therapy on Facebook, and you can call them and book the class for the core bowls. We're doing IOD and milk paint. And then if you're looking at the Solana Beach class, we've got a couple of spots left. That's the 27th, and that's with Debbie's Design Diary, and we're doing DIY painting, and we're talking all about creating a curated home, and also showing you how to paint, get crackle in your DIY paint, and all that good jazz. So
all that good jazz.
I hope that was some good information for you guys on the hard truths about picking. But
well, we've never wanted to have like a storage unit that we had to go drive to and pick stuff up, and stuff will get forgotten there. So we've always done it out of our garage and only gotten what we can finish. We have a few friends that do have 4, 5, 6 storage units.
8.
You start adding that up, that's like $1,000 or more
the stuff that you
dollars
got
a month.
for cheap isn't so cheap anymore when you got to pay to store it.
Yep.
I'm just trying to paint both sides of these shutter situations here. You know, the nastier paint job, the better. And then we'll probably sand these a little bit, smooth it out some, but I like the texture.
This is in keeping with our farmhouse Chippy theme this year.
Shoot a monkey. Yeah, sorry, I say that a lot. So if you're a monkey lover, we don't actually shoot monkeys.
We don't shoot.
There's
things.
no shooting of monkeys happening here.
It's probably an old phrase that she picked up from her parents that were born in the early 1900s.
My parents, they were born in the first quarter of the 1900s, not like early 1900s.
I feel like early is appropriate.
My parents were born in 1933.
Your dad is going to be 86 in June.
Can you force this one down? I need to paint the other side.
And we're not allowed to say how old your mom is because she's a sweetheart and she's timeless.
What?
I just pushed that one down.
This is the other one.
No.
This is the other one.
Unless you swapped these, that's the one.
No, animals were harmed in the making of this video. If you guys stay tuned, I'm going to show you my unboxing after I wash my hands of my new Wayfair rug. I always get asked about my rugs, and I ordered a new one for the basement. We may or may not do a video on the basement, depends on how cute I can get it. We bought the world's largest couch recently, and then Zeb had to have the world's largest TV.
No, it just made the TV look small.
Oh yeah, I get that. I can understand that.
I mean,
it's funny considering
the
like,
proportion
I can't have
was
a
off.
dresser, but you can have a TV.
I sold the other TV. All right.
Who sold the other TV?
Well, you posted it, but
yeah.
I hauled it.
You hauled it out to the guy.
Yep.
Oh, the joys of being married and spending every day, all day together. I'm running out of paint here. I'm gonna have to add a little water.
Yeah, I don't think we can go on the back side of all of these unless we mix up more paint. No, but I need to finish
the front side. So you need to pull down. It's okay because once I get to the bottom of my milk paint, it gets a little thick. So I just added some water. If this is hurting your eyes because this is such a messy paint job, I apologize in advance.
It's okay.
If you're OCD, maybe
this is how the OCD people confirm to themselves that they never want to paint like this. They're like, wow, look at that mess. I'm never doing that.
I promise it's going to be a good mess. Everything has to match. Big couch equals big TV.
Yep.
I have, I like to buy cheap rugs, and this is my mentality. We have 5 children. And I don't like scrubbing them, so I don't buy anything that I can't like replace in a year or 2.
Oh, that one's
broken. It's all right.
No longer attached.
All right,
it's lost its staple.
It's all right. We'll force it to stay one direction or the other. People ask me, like, how do you keep your rugs white? And, like, I replace them every year. That's how I do that. I do Scotch Guard them. That helps. See if we have enough paint for this.
Well, and we're not like a complete no-shoe household, like drop your shoes at the front door. But for the most part, the kids are pretty good about taking their shoes off when they come in the house.
They're not supposed to step on mom's holy rug. That's what they call it.
Because all through spring and winter, so since like November, we've been having moisture or snow or mud on the ground.
It snowed today, you guys. It snowed.
Yeah, it did. Up in the mountains, I hear Heber got a whole foot of snow.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't live up there. Yep. I had to find my winter boots. This morning, I wasn't pleased about that.
Oh, we're gonna have to mix up some more.
No, that's good enough. We'll just add some more water. We'll just keep making it go.
It's gonna be real thin by the time we're done.
It's okay. We're using up. This was all leftover milk paint.
All right. In a second here, I'm gonna break out the heat gun. We're gonna get one of these dry and see if we can show you what it'll look like all dried
Let's just let
out.
them dry a little bit on their own and show them the
rug. Where are we gonna show them the rug at?
Here, you can use this one. We'll just open it up a little bit. It's kind of ginormous. Hold on, I gotta wash my hands real quick. I'm not touching the new rugs with my nasty hands. You'll have to get some gloves, I guess, if you don't scrub your hands.
I'll scrub my hands in a sec here.
The thing about milk paint is it likes to stick. So if you don't want it to stick to your hands.
Oh yeah, it will stick to your hands for a couple days sometimes.
Especially if your hands are dry.
It's you know, it chips and crackles, but it sticks to stuff. All right, almost done. So you can make little shelves out of these too. I think Jamie talked about that a little bit. We have that video with the shelf and corbels that I made. And if you're not able to make your own corbels, we sell them on the website for you. We've got all kinds of sizes that would fit a shutter like this. These are about 8 inches wide, probably about 18, 20 inches long, and works real well for shelving.
It really likes to stick to my fingernails. Maybe I should use milk paint as like a nail polish.
I don't know how well that would hold up. All right, so have we decided which way we're gonna get these all spinning?
No, just let them dry. We'll just sand them later.
Sand them later. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little flyover so you can see.
Caitlin's on. Caitlin, can you drop the link to the event page for the class with Mara?
All right, so you can see kind of how it's still got some of the blue coming through because the blue wasn't even quite dry when we started painting it and chipping and things like that. And then once this is all done and chipping and crackle, we'll sand them smooth a little bit and it won't look like such a hot mess. The sanding step really helps kind of smooth out like all these brush strokes I've got up here.
That's special over there. Zoe.
Well, my paint is thin.
So these will be for sale in the Lehi shop, and we do have the shutter shelves in the shop in Lehi. So if you're local to Utah, check it out. These will probably take a few days to get there because we got to sand them and wax them.
Right,
Happenstance says she uses stuff mechanics use on hands, like the orange soap Zeb used to use. That works pretty good. Also, I like to use some Bath and Body Works makes a sugar scrub that works pretty good. I try to keep my hands clean. Back in the day when we finished like 10 projects a week, there was just no getting the paint
Mechanics
off.
hands.
There was no getting the paint off, so I'd be at church with paint. It still happens inevitably at some part of my body. There's paint on it that I wasn't planning on. Okay, let's see. I just joined from Ireland. Did I make these shutters? Nope. We bought these shutters at the thrift store. We painted them with spray paint, and then before they were dry, we put milk paint on them with no bond, and then we put more milk paint. If you just paint milk paint over dry wood and you don't put anything like spray paint or lacquer over it, it will not chip. So it has to have something to resist. That's why I like the spray paint. And I love the look of when I don't let the spray paint dry completely. And I just throw the milk paint on over the top of that because it'll like crackle and get layered. And the idea is that when you're all done, it'll look like it's been outside for a long time. So, Kendall says I could use Big Top for the top coat on my nails. I used to get my nails done. Now I get my eyelashes done, and I really only allow myself one thing to get done at a time. So I don't color my hair, I don't get my nails done, but I do get my lashes done.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, right? And Zeb is like, complains about it every time.
I don't complain about it. Here's the thing. Jamie has great eyelashes naturally. They're long.
But they're not this great. And I love that I don't get mascara in my eye by the end of the day.
All right, let's show them this rug.
Okay, we're going to show you the rug. What spray paint do we use? Rust-Oleum.
It's like the $3-4 can or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't like Krylon. We're going to flip this camera around so you guys can see our new rug. I didn't clean the living room, so I apologize in advance for anything you may or may not see.
It's mostly cleanish. I just scooched the coffee table out of the way.
All right, so Wayfair is where this rug that's down here is from. It's the Tibetan brand or something, and I got this one on sale for around $100 for an 8x10 or 8x11. This one was like, I think, $140.
They won't be able to hear you good unless you look at the camera.
Oh, this one that we're opening was $140 with tax, and I'm just hoping it's not too teal. So crossing my fingers. Even if it is too teal.
I think it'll go great in the basement because we've got all those old doors with kind of like the blues and the greens behind.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make the basement fun, and the couch is like dark gray. We will eventually show you the basement since we put the new couch in there, but
right now you can't even walk to the laundry room because the couch is so big. The desk that the kids do homework on is like pushed up against the wall between the couch.
Mariah says, "Is this the rug she's making pillows for?" Yes. So I needed to get the rug, and then I'm gonna find fabric or do grain sacks if I feel like it'll look good. And then my cute sister Mariah, I'm gonna send her fabric because my pillows for the couch that it came with are 22 by 22 and they're way dated. So I don't feel like I can get rid of them because they're nice pillows, but I don't like the fabric. You know how when you go to the couch store and they have like those old school like stripes and things that don't look very good? That's what the pillows are. But they're comfy. Also, it came with 16 pillows. I don't think I'm going to keep all of them. All right.
So the thing about these Wayfair rugs, they're pretty soft, but they're not like real rigid. Like you got some rugs that you put them down and it's like putting a linoleum flooring down.
Well, and they're not thick. I mean,
that is darker, isn't it?
Yeah, it is darker than I thought. So I spent $140 for a huge rug. So don't expect that the quality is going to be like amazing because you get what you paid for. But it does work well, and I think that it's going to look good down in the basement. So
well, a lot of this is going to be covered up by your monster couch.
Yeah, you're only going to see a portion of this. It's got grays in it. We'll drop the link for this when we're not live anymore. But I think it's going to be fun. It's got plenty of white in there for me. It's got like an age distressed look.
So if you go watch our home tour from a couple weeks ago that we did for our spring home tour, just look up Jami Ray Vintage home tour. It should pop right up. The link for the other rug is in that one, and we'll put a link in this video. And if I can, I might snag the link and put it in the description after we're done.
Yeah. But it's from Wayfair, and these are Brandt rugs, B-R-A-N-D-T. Anyways, I like them. I think they turned out pretty good, so ta-da!
Yeah, I think it'll look really good with gray, and it's
like a
big,
dark gray.
like
Yeah.
they're huge.
It's way bigger than is necessary, but for the price, I just went ahead and got a big rug, so. Now I just have to, the problem is like I can't haul that rug with me to the fabric store, so I'm gonna have to commit to memory.
Just take a good picture.
I might just get samples of all the fabrics and then bring them and decide what we're gonna do. Okay, so it's starting to dry. You wanna get
All right, sit back down and answer questions so they can see you, and I'll leave it right here like so. And we're gonna break the heat gun out. You might hear it a little bit. It's quieter than the blow dryer, so we'll use that.
Have you ever made a frame for a framed window? Like, I know I've always just bought like antique ones, but I think you could make a frame.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. And if you wanted to look old and chippy, you could do the same technique on the frame before you get the glass in, and then just go to your glass store and they'll cut glass, and they'll probably even put it in there for you if you pay them. I've had my living room rug for 10 years. Renee says she regularly cleans it. Well, we don't. And even if we did, I just don't know that it would hold up to the 5 kids. So, and I rotate rugs. Like my old living room rug wasn't super amazingly clean, so I put it in my bedroom because most of it's covered by the bed. Let's see. Did I make the basket that's in between the chairs? Oh, no. So the basket in between the chairs is a vintage laundry cart, but if you go to Amazon and type in vintage laundry cart, you can buy replicas. They're about $100. I get asked about it a lot. I think I spent like $80 for that when I bought it at like a local boutique. Okay. Kaylin's got all the links in there if you guys need them for the classes. Can you swim with eyelashes? Heck yes! That's why I got them initially. When I went to Hawaii, I wanted to be able to not wear makeup and still have lashes. So yeah, the more time you spend in water, the worse they hold up because the glue will get loose after a while. So just keep that in mind. I get them filled. I'm pretty hard on my lashes. I get them filled every 2 weeks.
She rubs her eyes a lot.
Yeah. I get them filled every 2 weeks, and my lash gal lives like 2 minutes from my house, which is probably the only reason I get them done, because it's convenient. So are you using these shutters for the shop or for home? These are going to be used at the shop. We're going to sell them. I actually don't have a place. Maybe, like, I actually think that these would look pretty good with that rug. So if I can find a use for a couple, I might save them for the basement. I'm going to be working on decorating the basement. How much do the lashes cost? $35 every 2 weeks. So very similar to getting your nails done.
The way we justify it is she was burning through mascara, so you know.
I wasn't burning through that much mascara. $35 every 2 weeks. Some lash places charge more. This gal does it out of her home, and I think the initial set was like $90 and it's $35 for fills. Hey, it's Girl Upcycled Studio. Hello, Kelly. We are good. How are you? I love my lashes. I'm 58 and no more mascara. So if you guys have lash extensions, comment and let me know. Only because then I can say, look, Zeb, I'm not the only one with lash extensions.
Everybody's doing it. Let's jump off that cliff together.
And I don't do volume. These are just traditional lash extensions. Some people think I have volume, but I actually, like Zeb said, my lashes are kind of long and thick anyways, so it looks like it, but these are just regular ones. Do we have an affiliate link for Wayfair? Caitlin, we do, and I will drop that when we're not live. I have to look it up. Sorry, guys. I love how this is turning into talking about lashes. Well, a majority of the women that people follow us are women, so. And men have lashes too. We don't discriminate. Anybody can get their lashes done. Zeb actually has very long eyelashes. They're just very long.
Yep. I was originally a blonde before all my hair fell out.
I would be scared to death. I have an eyeball thing that freaks me out.
Me
So
too.
does Zeb.
Don't touch my eyes.
I got LASIK, and I think it weirded him out more than me. We were at Hoops getting my LASIK, and Zeb's like cringing as he's filming it, and I'm like, they're lasering my eyes, and I'm just laying there like, no more glasses, woohoo!
All right, I'm going to take a break.
You cannot do lash extensions yourself, but I have seen very pretty false lashes that you can glue on. I would probably get glue in my eye if that was me.
All right. So here's some of that. We haven't sanded it or done anything yet. We're getting that good crusty look. And then I'll show you the backside that didn't get the white.
Over the top.
Like that is also looking pretty good and crackly. And we might even sand that. You could have like, you could switch it up, you know.
Yeah. That's good stuff. You can also get your lashes permed. Yep. That's called the lash lift, and I have actually done that. Little teeny tiny rollers. That freaks me out to have perm solution on my eyelashes more than getting my eyelashes done. You know who else gets her eyelashes done? Debbie Beard. So.
All right, I'm gonna go get a little hand sander here, and we'll work on this one.
What color did I paint my cabinets in the background? These are painted in DIY White Swan. I know you're shocked. And we actually sealed them with polyacrylic, but you could use Big Top or Sweet Pickens top coat. Let's see. Jane Brown says she's never heard of lash extensions. Don't touch my eyes. I can't watch people put contacts. I can't do contacts either. That's why I got LASIK. But the funny thing is, you know, there's people that get the volume and they're huge. And I kind of wonder if like in 5 years we're gonna look back and be like, I can't believe we had those huge eyelashes. I try to keep mine in check. Like they're not like ginormous. And you can have eyelashes and brows tinted. That's correct. These are my natural eyebrows. I do put powder on them, but I was like unibrow when I was a kid, and I didn't overly pluck them in high school. And when I was in high school, the thin eyebrows were popular, but I was too lazy to pluck mine that thin, and now I'm glad I didn't because I still have eyebrows. And a lot of my friends have to get microblading because they overplucked them. Let's see, before dark waxing, should you let the clear wax dry first? Yeah, maybe give it like half an hour to penetrate, maybe do a couple of coats, because you want to really have a barrier, because if you put dark wax directly on chalk paint or milk paint or DIY paint, it's going to really soak it up and then it's going to look like poop, literally. So be careful with that.
All right, I'm going to sand this up a little bit here.
Can you paint over pieces that have been previously painted with latex paint? Yep, we do it all the time. Something to keep in mind though is depending on what was used, how it was prepped, will also depend on how it's going to adhere. So be patient with it. You could experience problems. I always paint over latex, and if problems happen, then I deal with them at that point, but I'm not about to strip latex paint in the bun. Hi, can you use the IOD stamp after you've waxed furniture? I wouldn't put it over wax because wax needs to breathe and it's a natural resistor, so it can cause it not to stick. So do 2 coats. I'm doing it for the first time literally as we speak. Yes, 2 coats of clear wax and then dark wax just where you want it, and keep your clear wax handy because if it still isn't coming off the way you want, you can actually put clear wax over that dark wax to pull it off. Start with a small section and get the hang of it before you dark wax the whole thing. Do not dark wax the whole thing and then come back and try to wipe it off because you might not be able to work with it as well. So start in a small area. Ingborn Van Beek says she stencils her eyebrows every morning. Some people stencil furniture, she stencils her eyebrows.
Nice.
I would stencil it, but I probably would make a mess. So I just use eyeshadow and an angled brush.
You want to know my morning routine?
Oh.
I get out of bed and I put on the same dirty work clothes I used yesterday, so I only have to wash 1 pair a week.
Caitlin dropped the link down for the Brandt area rug, which is the one we have upstairs. And if you click that link and you just search turquoise Brandt rug, like through that link, you should be able to find the new one we just got. Thanks, Caitlin. How I just said her name, Ingeborg Van Beek. I did it. They say brows frame the face. That's right. I actually think a lot about painting my face the way I paint furniture. It's a little distressed. Don't look close. It's not perfect. Yeah, Kayla, if they click that link, it'll take them straight to the one that I have upstairs, right? Not downstairs. Sorry, Caitlin got the link in here. Zeb's a typical man.
I try to be mostly normal.
You're a dude that loves glitter and crafting.
Do I love glitter?
Yeah, because we were doing a project at Christmas and you're like, those really need glitter. And that was not my idea, that was yours. I was never so proud.
I don't know that that constitutes love.
Can I stencil chalk paint over a semi-gloss wall? Sure. Be sure to seal it when you're done or wax it, either way, and you should be fine. Go Zeb, no manscaping. Oh, Zeb manscapes. He's a hairy bear.
Yep.
When we went to Hawaii, he made me buzz his back. I waxed it when we were dating, but
it gets hot. If it's over 80,
much hair now.
If it's over 80, I get all sweaty.
Zeb actually told me that he would never really consider getting laser except for on his back because he doesn't like having to deal with it in the summertime. So maybe we'll do some laser this summer and we'll share with you guys how it works. I really like to get my mustache lasered and my armpits.
Here's the thing, I'm cheap, so that's probably not going to happen.
I'll get it for you for Father's Day.
Please don't. I'd rather have so many other things for Father's Day.
Oh my goodness. All right, Zeb, show them what it looks like. Oh, we're 11:12. Perfect timing because I have to run here.
So there's kind of the view of the good chippy crackle that we got, and there's texture and layers and bubbling, and because we hit it with the heat gun and all kinds of stuff.
Minder family. Hypothetically, I would give it a little bit of a sand just to smooth out the bad chalk paint. As long as it's not peeling, then you can just paint right over it. If you have waxed it though, you're going to want to remove that wax either with mineral spirits or sanding to get that off.
What was the question?
Oh, she used bad chalk paint, hypothetically, and wants to know what, like, if she ordered from us and painted over it, what to do. I would just sand it smooth just a little bit, and then you can paint right over it. The only reason I suggest that is because I don't know what brand you used, and that'll give you a little bit more chance of success. When I first started doing my business, what did I use? So I started with latex, and then I found Fairy Chalk Mother, and I was like, oh, heck no, I can't never go back. So then I used Fairy Chalk Mother for a long time, and then I started using milk paint and then DIY paint. All right, I'm loving them. We're gonna let these dry. If you wanna see what they look like, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I will post a picture later today of the finished product.
So this is one that hasn't been heat gunned. It'll probably continue to crackle and chip as it dries all on its own. You can see here, we're getting some good chipping. So it's working out. It's doing what we intended. And the blue still shows through, even though we put the white over there.
Vintage Sin, I bought milk paint from you and haven't used it because I'm scared. I know I'm going to see you in a few weeks in California, so we're going to talk about those fears. Just rip it off like a Band-Aid. You saw how we slapped it on here. Like, there was no precision needed. In fact, I feel like with milk paint, if you want it to look like an old crusty paint job, the messier the better.
Yeah.
Just like that.
All right, well, we got to go get Jack from preschool and do some other things. We will see you guys again tomorrow. And if you're not part of the channel membership, or if you are, there's a couple new posts in the community that you can check out. And the chapter, there's a new video, and the printable have all been put up now. So
yeah, so we got that up there. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you check next to the join button or the subscribe button, we have a join button. That's to our channel membership. If you're on an iPhone or an iPad and you don't see the join button, go to our videos, drop the link to the description, and you'll see the link to our membership. And if you click that link, it will go over all the details of what's included in our membership group. All right, love you guys. I gotta go pick up Jack from preschool and drop off paint at the shop. We'll see you guys Saturday, and we will have a video up tomorrow. And then our vlog video will be